Our Earth is a dynamic planet. It's constantly changing. From the moment it formed over 4.5 billion years ago, Earth has been in a state of perpetual transformation. The forces of nature, both subtle and cataclysmic, have sculpted its surface and atmosphere, creating the world we know today. Beneath our feet, tectonic plates shift and collide, shaping continents and oceans. These massive slabs of Earth's crust are in constant motion, driven by the heat from the planet's core. When they grind against each other, they can cause earthquakes, and when they pull apart, magma can rise to form new land. This process, known as plate tectonics, is responsible for the creation of mountains, the formation of ocean basins, and the occurrence of volcanic activity. The atmosphere, a delicate veil of gases, regulates our climate. It acts as a protective shield, absorbing harmful solar radiation and reducing temperature extremes between day and night. The composition of the atmosphere has changed over time, influenced by volcanic eruptions, the evolution of life and human activities. Weather patterns driven by the interaction of the atmosphere with the oceans and land bring rain, snow, and storms, shaping the environment and influencing the lives of all organisms. Life itself has profoundly altered the Earth over billions of years. From the first single-celled organisms to the complex ecosystems we see today, life has played a crucial role in shaping the planet. Photosynthetic organisms, for example, have transformed the atmosphere by producing oxygen, enabling the evolution of aerobic life forms. Fossil records reveal the history of life on Earth, showing how species have adapted to changing conditions and how mass extinctions have paved the way for new forms of life to emerge. We're now entering a new era of change, one driven by human activity. The Industrial Revolution marked the beginning of significant human impact on the planet. Since then, our activities have accelerated the rate of change, leading to deforestation, pollution, and urban expansion. These changes have far-reaching consequences for the environment and for the health and well-being of all living organisms. Our actions are altering the planet's systems at an unprecedented rate. The burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, and industrial activities have increased the concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, leading to global warming and climate change. Melting glaciers and ice caps contribute to rising sea levels, while plastic pollution and air pollution pose serious threats to marine and terrestrial ecosystems. The impact of human activity is evident in every corner of the globe. The consequences are becoming increasingly apparent. We are witnessing more frequent and severe wildfires, extreme weather events, and the extinction of species at an alarming rate. These changes not only affect the natural world, but also have profound implications for human societies. Food and water security, health, and livelihoods are all at risk as the planet's systems become more unstable. The future of Earth and all life upon it hangs in the balance. The choices we make today will determine the trajectory of our planet's future. Will we continue on a path of environmental degradation, or will we take decisive action to protect and restore the natural world? The stakes have never been higher, and the need for collective action has never been more urgent. The coming decade will be critical. We have the knowledge and the tools to address the challenges we face, but it will require unprecedented levels of cooperation and commitment. Transitioning to renewable energy sources, reducing carbon emissions, and protecting natural habitats are essential steps towards a sustainable future. Public awareness and activism are also crucial in driving the changes needed to safeguard our planet. We will witness dramatic shifts in our planet's geography, climate, and ecosystems. Coastal areas will be particularly vulnerable to rising sea levels and increased storm surges, while inland regions may experience more frequent and severe droughts. Ecosystems will continue to change, with some species adapting to new conditions and others facing extinction. These changes will have profound impacts on human societies, requiring us to adapt and find new ways to live in harmony with the natural world. These changes will reshape the world as we know it, presenting both challenges and opportunities. Urban areas will need to adapt to new climate realities with innovative solutions for sustainable living and resilient infrastructure. Agriculture will also need to evolve with new techniques and technologies to ensure food security in a changing climate. Renewable energy installations will play a key role in reducing our carbon footprint and mitigating the impacts of climate change. Understanding these changes is vital if we are to adapt and thrive in this new era. Scientific research and climate data analysis provide the foundation for informed decision-making and effective action. Environmental education is also essential, helping people of all ages understand the importance of protecting our planet and empowering them to take action. By working together and sharing knowledge, we can build a more sustainable and resilient future. It is a time of uncertainty, but also a time of hope. Community-led conservation efforts, reforestation projects, and clean energy initiatives are making a positive impact around the world. These grassroots movements demonstrate the power of collective action and the potential for positive change. By supporting and expanding these efforts, we can create a more sustainable and equitable world for future generations. Human ingenuity and collective action can still steer us towards a sustainable future. Innovative green technologies, international climate conferences, and collaborative community projects are all part of the solution. By harnessing the power of technology and working together on a global scale, we can address the challenges of climate change and build a better future for all. The choices we make today will determine the fate of generations to come. Every action counts, from planting trees and adopting sustainable living practices to advocating for policy changes and supporting environmental initiatives. Together, we can create a world where people and nature thrive in harmony, ensuring a healthy and vibrant planet for future generations. Deep beneath the ocean's surface, where sunlight never reaches and the pressure is immense, an extraordinary and dramatic geological process is unfolding. This hidden world is a place of constant change and immense power, where the Earth's crust is being reshaped in ways that are both subtle and profound. The Earth's crust is divided into massive slabs known as tectonic plates. These plates are in perpetual motion, driven by forces deep within the planet. The movement of these plates is responsible for the creation and destruction of land masses, the formation of mountains, and the occurrence of earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Tectonic plates, the massive slabs that make up Earth's crust, are constantly on the move. They drift atop the semi-fluid asthenosphere, a layer of the mantle that behaves like a slow-moving liquid. This movement is slow but relentless, occurring at a rate of a few centimeters per year, about the same speed at which your fingernails grow. Over millions of years, these plates collide, grind against each other, and drift apart. When they collide, the immense pressure can cause the crust to buckle and fold, creating mountain ranges. When they grind past each other, the friction can cause earthquakes. And when they drift apart, magma from the mantle can rise to fill the gap, creating new oceanic crust. These movements have shaped our planet's continents and oceans. The positions of the continents have changed dramatically over geological time, driven by the relentless motion of the tectonic plates. This process, known as continental drift, has been responsible for the formation and breakup of supercontinents, such as Pangaea, which existed around 300 million years ago. In the Pacific Ocean, a new chapter in Earth's geological history may be unfolding. The Pacific Plate, one of the largest tectonic plates, is slowly subducting or sliding beneath the surrounding plates. This process is not only reshaping the ocean floor, but also has the potential to dramatically alter the configuration of the continents. The Pacific Plate, one of the largest tectonic plates, is slowly subducting or sliding beneath the surrounding plates. This subduction process is driven by the density differences between the oceanic and continental crusts. As the denser oceanic crust sinks into the mantle, it pulls the rest of the plate along with it, creating deep ocean trenches and volcanic arcs. This process is gradually pulling the continents bordering the Pacific closer together. Over millions of years, this could lead to the closure of the Pacific Ocean and the collision of the surrounding continents, potentially forming a new supercontinent. Scientists believe that this tectonic dance could eventually lead to the formation of a new supercontinent. This hypothetical landmass has been dubbed Eurasia, a name that reflects the merging of the Americas with Asia. The formation of Eurasia would mark a new era in Earth's geological history, with profound implications for the planet's climate, ecosystems, and geography. This landmass, dubbed Eurasia, could emerge within the next 200 million years. While this may seem like an unimaginably long time, it is just a blink of an eye in geological terms. The forces that drive continental drift are slow but relentless, and they will continue to reshape our planet for billions of years to come. While the exact timeline remains uncertain, the forces that drive continental drift are relentless. These forces are powered by the heat from the Earth's interior, which causes convection currents in the mantle. These currents act like a conveyor belt, slowly but inexorably moving the tectonic plates across the surface of the planet. The birth of a new continent would have profound implications for life on Earth. The formation of new land masses would create new habitats and ecosystems, leading to the evolution of new species. At the same time, the collision of continents could cause the extinction of existing species as habitats are destroyed and climates change. Ocean currents would be redirected, altering global weather patterns. The movement of continents can change the distribution of heat and moisture around the planet, leading to shifts in climate zones and weather patterns. These changes could have significant impacts on agriculture, water resources, and human societies. New mountain ranges would rise, creating isolated ecosystems. The collision of tectonic plates can cause the Earth's crust to buckle and fold, forming mountain ranges. These mountains can act as barriers, isolating species and leading to the development of unique ecosystems. Over time, these isolated ecosystems can become hotspots of biodiversity. The very face of our planet would be transformed. The formation of a new supercontinent would reshape the geography of the Earth, creating new coastlines, mountain ranges, and ocean basins. This transformation would have far-reaching effects on the planet's climate, ecosystems, and human societies, marking a new chapter in the history of our ever-changing world. Climate change is one of the most pressing challenges facing our planet today. The evidence is all around us, from the increasing frequency of extreme weather events to the gradual but relentless rise in global temperatures. Scientists have been sounding the alarm for decades, but now the impacts are becoming impossible to ignore. As human activities release increasing amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, the Earth's temperature continues to rise. These gases, such as carbon dioxide and methane, trap heat in the atmosphere, creating a greenhouse effect that warms the planet. The primary sources of these emissions include the burning of fossil fuels for energy, deforestation, and industrial processes. This warming has profound effects on our oceans, which are absorbing the vast majority of this excess heat. The oceans act as a buffer, but this comes at a cost. Warmer ocean temperatures disrupt marine ecosystems, affect weather patterns, and contribute to the melting of polar ice. One of the most visible consequences of climate change is rising sea levels. This phenomenon is driven by two main factors: the thermal expansion of seawater as it warms and the addition of water from melting ice sheets and glaciers. As ocean water warms, it expands, causing sea levels to rise. This process, known as thermal expansion, is responsible for about half of the observed sea level rise. The other half comes from the melting of ice on land, which adds more water to the oceans. Melting glaciers and ice sheets further exacerbate this problem by adding more water to the oceans. The Greenland and Antarctic ice sheets are particularly significant contributors. As these massive ice reserves melt, they not only raise sea levels, but also alter ocean currents and weather patterns. The implications of rising sea levels are dire, particularly for coastal communities and low-lying islands. These areas are home to millions of people who depend on the land for their livelihoods. As sea levels rise, the risk of flooding increases, threatening homes, businesses, and critical infrastructure. Coastal erosion, flooding, and saltwater intrusion threaten infrastructure, agriculture, and human settlements. Erosion can wash away entire stretches of coastline, while saltwater intrusion can render farmland unusable. These impacts can lead to food shortages and economic instability. Millions of people around the world are at risk of displacement. As their homes become uninhabitable, they are forced to move, often with little warning. This creates a humanitarian crisis, as displaced populations need shelter, food, and other resources. The Maldives, a nation of low-lying islands in the Indian Ocean, is on the front lines of this crisis. With an average elevation of just 1.5 meters above sea level, the Maldives is extremely vulnerable to rising seas. The government has been vocal about the need for global action to combat climate change. Rising sea levels threaten to submerge much of the country within the century. This would not only displace the Maldivian population, but also erase a unique culture and way of life. The loss of the Maldives would be a stark reminder of the consequences of inaction. The Maldivian government is taking drastic measures, including building artificial islands, to adapt to this existential threat. These projects are ambitious and costly, but they are seen as necessary to ensure the survival of the nation. The Maldives' efforts highlight the urgent need for global cooperation and innovation in addressing climate change. The Earth's climate is changing at an alarming rate. Scientists predict that global temperatures could rise by an average of 1.5 degrees Celsius by 2030, compared to pre-industrial levels. This warming trend is already having significant impacts on weather patterns around the world. Extreme weather events such as heat waves, droughts, floods and wildfires are becoming more frequent and intense. Heat waves can lead to heat stroke, dehydration and respiratory problems, particularly among vulnerable populations. Droughts can cripple agriculture, leading to food shortages and economic instability. Floods can cause widespread damage to infrastructure, homes and businesses. Wildfires, fueled by dry conditions and high temperatures, are becoming more frequent and destructive, releasing massive amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. The increasing frequency and intensity of extreme weather events pose significant risks to human health, safety and well-being. They also threaten ecosystems, biodiversity and the delicate balance of our planet's climate system.